Differentiation. Now in calculus, differentiation and integration are very important concepts. Most of the time we have certain relationships, we know the formulas, so we do the differentiation. But what exactly is differentiation? Why we do it? In physics, you might have heard about rate of change. Differentiation is nothing but rate of change. I'll prove it. For example, if you take your car, you are running, you are walking. How to differentiate? How to find the differentiation? Let us understand by this example. Now this is a car. Now this car goes for 40 meters in 5 seconds. So this is a fixed time, fixed distance. So the gradient or the rate of change of this scenario, it tells us what? The rate at which the distance changes with respect to time. As the time progresses, the distance changes. So distance is changing with respect to time, and that is called the speed, and that is called the gradient here. So slope, m, tan theta, dy by dx, all are rate of change. Rate of change of distance with respect to time, rate of change of x with respect to y. So this graph or this example, in order to find out the gradient, what we will do? We will find out at what time or in what time duration what distance has been covered. We'll take a ratio and the speed will be found. That is, gradient here is the speed. Gradient tells us the speed of the car, which is nothing but the ratio of two values which are changing with respect to one another. So gradient is not distance upon time here. It is change in distance with respect to the change in time. So how the time changes, and with the time how the distance changes. For example, we have t1, t2 as the time duration. d1, d2 is the distance travel in this time. So at t1 the distance was d1, at t2 the distance was d2. So the distance change d2 minus d1, the time change is t2 minus t1. So the time change is related to the distance change, and the distance change is related to the time change. But here it's 40 divided by 5, because here we have taken t1 and d1 as 0. The time is 0, the distance is 0. So 40 minus 0 and 5 minus 0. So you have a very, you can say default answer or a regular answer, a regular gradient, regular speed, that is 8. So in physics, just add physics here, meter per second. So now the question is that this is a constant speed. This car is an example of constant speed, because the gradient or the slope or the m or tan theta is same everywhere for this graph. It is not changing. Here we are not concerned about differentiation. But if somebody asks you that in a real scenario, because in real scenario, the car will start from 0, it will attain certain speed, it will slow down, it will accelerate, and then it will come to a stop. So in most of the situation, the speed will not remain constant. I'm not showing this, picture just to show that the speed is not constant, never be constant. The distance time graph will not be a straight line, it will be a curved line, right? Because you start from the rest, you have traffic stops, you have people, you have maybe animals. So the speed of the car, which is what we're calling as the gradient or the slope or the ratio of two value, changes as you move along the curve, or the speed of the car changes when you from destination point A to point B, that is the source to the destination, you move. Okay? So somebody asks you, tell me the time or tell me the distance at say 3 seconds, 3.2 seconds, 3.1 seconds. I'll give you one more example. For example, you are earning something. With respect to age, how is your income changing? So the rate of change of income with respect to the age is differentiation, is gradient, is slope, is m, is tan theta. That is the instantaneous value. The process of finding the rate at which one variable changes with respect to another is called differentiation. Okay, so this is all about income changing with respect to age, the distance with respect to time. So in most of the situation, we are finding the gradient or the slope of a curve. Not, it may be a straight line also, but mostly the curve, and that is the rate of change of one value with respect to another is your differentiation. I hope you got the idea of differentiation.